The people who fail in retirement, they aren't reckless. They're not irresponsible. They're careful, actually. They're disciplined. They're good. And that's exactly why it happens. Retirement failure doesn't show up overnight. It shows up slowly, quietly, comfortably. And most people don't even realize it's happening. Let me explain what I mean. You know, most retirees, they don't fail because they overspend. They fail because they protect so hard. They stop adjusting. Money just sits. Your cash savings, CDs, or ultra-safe accounts, they're earning little to nothing. They aren't growing meaningfully. Inflation moves, prices keep rising. Every year they rise, whether you participate or not. So even if your balance stays the same, your purchasing power is quietly dropping. Life just shrinks. Your account balance may look stable, but what that money can buy 5 years from now, it won't be the same. If your savings are earning 1% and your expenses are rising 3 or even 4%, you're not standing still. You're slowly losing ground. Let's make this practical. If you retire with $300,000 in cash and earn 1%, that's $3,000 a year. But if your expenses rise 4% on $60,000 a year, that's $2,400 more you need the very first year. The gap widens quietly. And the dangerous part, nothing feels broken. Your statements still look stable. Your account still has money, but purchasing power, it's leaking out slowly. That's how drift works. And it doesn't feel dramatic. It feels responsible. Have you caught yourself cutting back lately and telling yourself, oh, I'm just being careful? Be honest here. Here's the first quiet mistake: overprotecting your money to the point of stagnation. You move everything to safety. You avoid any adjustment. You tell yourself, at least it's secure. But secure doesn't mean stable. If your expenses rise, again, 3 to 4% a year and your money isn't keeping pace, you're not standing still. You're drifting backwards. Slowly, but you're drifting. Second mistake: letting inflation quietly reshape your lifestyle. Groceries cost a little bit more, insurance creeps up, utilities start to rise. So you adjust. You eat out less, you delay the trip, you skip that cruise. You tell yourself you'll feel safer next year, but next year rarely feels safer. It just becomes the new normal. Here's what quiet failure really looks like. You stop replacing things as quickly. You postpone upgrades. You avoid turning on the air conditioner as much. You hesitate before saying yes to dinner invitations. Not because you can't afford it today, but because you're thinking about 5 years from now. That constant hesitation changes how retirement feels. And when retirement starts feeling cautious instead of confident, that's when joy starts to shrink. That's the part nobody really talks about. And 5 years later, you look around and realize your world got smaller. Not because you failed, but because you didn't notice. Which worries you more, overspending or not living enough? That answer is going to say a lot about you. Third mistake: not revisiting your plan. The plan that felt safe at 62 can quietly become outdated at 68 or 73 or even at 81 for that matter. Folks, life changes, markets change, your energy changes. But if the plan never changes, it slowly disconnects from reality. You know, outdated plans, they don't explode, they just erode. A plan built at 62 assumes a certain life expectancy, certain spending habits, certain health expectations. But what if your healthier than expected? What if you live longer than you planned? What if your spending shifts? Plan's not a one-time decision. It's a living structure. If you don't revisit, you slowly start living under the rules that may not fit your reality anymore. Have you caught yourself shrinking your lifestyle lately and calling it being careful? Now let's get clear about something. The real risk in retirement isn't running out tomorrow. The real risk is living smaller and smaller without even realizing it. Because, folks, this isn't bankruptcy fear. It's dignity fear. It's waking up one day and realizing you survived retirement, but you didn't really live it. So here's what you really got to do this next. First, review your plan once a year. Not when there's a crisis, every year. Second, track inflation, honestly. If your expenses are rising, your strategy's got to respond. Third, protect your lifestyle. Just as intentionally as you protect your money. Safety matters, but so does living. And here's the hard truth. Playing defense forever is not a strategy. It's a slow retreat. And remember this, half the game is offense. That doesn't mean being reckless. It means being intentional. It means adjusting when conditions change. It means allowing your plan to breathe instead of locking it back into a safe. Retirement isn't about preserving money at any cost. It's about preserving stability and your quality of life together. Folks, that's balance. If this feels close to home, I want you to think about something. When you picture failing in retirement, what does that actually look like? Running out of money or slowly shrinking your life away? Tell me down in the comments, would you please? Because catching this early is the difference. And good retirees don't fail overnight. They drift. And drifting, folks, that's something you can correct. If you're planning retirement or you're already here and you want clarity instead of stress, I believe you're in the right place. Folks, if this video hit home for you, drop a comment below. I promise I read every one. Thanks for spending some of your day with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.